Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's JKB Crochets. So thank you so much for tuning in. Now for this, please do help me and subscribe. I'll be very happy if you do so. So let's get straight to the tutorial. For the materials, I'll be using a 3mm hook. I'll be using yarn. I'm doubling my strands because they are lightweight, but if you have a medium weight for ply, very well and good, go with that. I'll be using a pair of scissors, tape. Yeah, that's all on my hands, nothing more. So to start, we're going to do this bikini bottom. We're going to start with the middle part, and for the middle part I'll be using single crochets only for the middle part. So make a slip knot, chain. You're going to chain 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. There are 10 stitches we have already. Add one more, then go to the very next one. That one more counts as a stitch, so go to the, leave the next one but this other one, and make a single crochet. Now those are 2 so far. Continue across 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. There we have 10 single crochet. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work. We're going to work into the stitch. Go to this stitch here, the next stitch, and place a single crochet. Go across. They must be 10 stitches. Make sure there is no increase, there is no decrease. And just like that is how we're going to do our rows. We're going to make sure we have a total of 16 rows of single crochets. So just continue along until you reach the end. Make sure every row you count. We don't want work which is not neat. Nah, we don't want that. So just like that, chain 1, turn your work. I have my 16 rows already done, my 16 rows of single crochet. Now for the next rows, you're going to be using double crochets. So chain 3, turn your work. We're going to be increasing on each side, on the beginning and on the end. So on this beginning, add another double crochet in that very stitch here. So continue to until the other side, placing 1 double crochet in each stitch. Now I've reached the end here, the last stitch. Add 2 double crochets in that stitch, that last stitch. Make sure there are 2. So by the end of this row, you should have 12 stitches. So chain 3, turn your work, add another stitch, double crochet stitch in that very stitch. So go on placing 1 double crochet until you reach the last stitch. In the last stitch, you place 2. As easy as that. That, friends, is what we call increasing. We are working into the stitch. I've reached my last stitch here. I'm going to place 2 double crochets. Add another one so that there are 2. So by the end of this row, you must be having 14 stitches. This is the second second row in this double crochet. So chain 3. You're going to continue with the same pattern, just increasing at the beginning and at the end. You just put 2 stitches in the beginning and the end. So you're going to do this until you have 8 rows here, and I have 4 stitches left to end of this row. So I'm going to yarn over, go to the 4th last stitch, insert your hook, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, yarn over, go to the 3rd last stitch, insert your hook, pull through. You have 4 loops on the hook, pull through 2, you have 3, then pull through all. Now that is a decrease. So you're going to go straight to the last one. You're going to skip 1 stitch, that is, and you go to the very last one and place a double crochet to the very last stitch. There we are. So you've skipped a stitch to make a double crochet here. So we're going to do this for the next 5 rows. Chain 3. Let me show you one more time. Turn your work, yarn over, go to the next stitch here on top of the reduced rows, pull through. You have 3 loops, pull through 2, you have 2, yarn over, go to the next one, pull through 2, pull through all. You've reduced there. Continue with just normal double crochets across until you have 4 stitches left to end of the row. Now you can see I have 4 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left. Yarn over, you're going to go into the 4th last stitch, insert your hook, pull through 2, yarn over, go to the 3rd last stitch, insert your hook, pull through, then pull through 2, then pull through all. You're going to skip this on top of these 2 stitches we put together and go to the very last one with a double crochet. And that, friends, is how we are going to reduce. Don't mind these holes, it will turn out beautiful, don't worry. So just continue like that. Chain 3, turn your work, reduce until you have a total of, the reduced rows should be 6 rows. Let me meet you there. After you're done with the 5th row of decrease, the 6th row should be normal. Chain 3, turn your work, don't do any increase or decrease, just go to the next stitch. I'm done with my 8 rows of double crochets. These are my 8 rows. Now for the next few rows, I'm going to be decreasing. So to decrease, you chain 3, turn your work, yarn over. Now we are going to go into this stitch here, that stitch, pull through. You have 3 loops on your hook, pull through 2, you have 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, go to the very next stitch, insert your hook, pull through. You have 4 loops on your hook, pull through 2, you have 3, pull through all. And that's how we reduce. You can see now these 2, the 2 have become 1. So continue with normal double crochets across until you have 4 stitches left to end of this row with just normal double crochets, each placing a double crochet. So your total should be, these are 4 so far, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 stitches on the very 6th row, and that's our last row for the. Now this should be our side, our shape. That's our shape. So you should have something like this, looking like this. Don't worry about the shaping, it will come out well. Now chain 1 and cut. I'll be changing another color for the sides. For the sides, I'm going to be using black, and I'm going to be making mesh side. This is my black, and whichever side you've chosen to be the back side or the wrong side, that should be the side which you're going to work on. I think this should be my front and this should be my back. Nothing really to base on, just so go into this stitch here in that last stitch and attach your black yarn or any yarn you've chosen this one, chain 1 to to attach, then go into this next. In each row we're going to be placing two stitches, 1 and 2. Go to the next row here and place 2 as well. You're going to go on placing two single crochets into 7 rows. 1 2 3 so far, 4, then that's 5, 1 2 3 4 5, 6 and 7. There we are. Now you're going to chain 4, 1 2 3 4, turn your work and skip 1 stitch. You're going to skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch you're going to place a double crochet. See, that's a mesh we are creating there. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, and into the next stitch place a double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, into the next one, double crochet. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, into the next one, double crochet. Chain 1, skip the next stitch, and into the next one, double crochet. How many do you have so far? 6. So 1 7. Chain 1, skip the next one, and into the very first one, double crochet. And we have 7 mesh spaces. So we're going to be continuing on the mesh. Chain 4. Every time you're beginning a mesh rope, chain 4. Go into this here on top of this double crochet and place a double crochet. Chain 1. Go on top of this, place a double crochet. Chain 1. Go on top of this, place a double crochet. Chain 1. Skip this, go here. Chain 1, skip this, go here. I'm going to do this until I'll be letting you know, or you can speed it up to see how many rows I did. Chain 1, go here. Chain 1. You're going to go onto the 3rd stitch here on this chain 4. There we are, and we are going to repeat this pattern until we have, I'll be letting you know how many rows we'll be having. This is going to be our side. Okay, so continue until you have enough rows. Now I've done 12 rows of mesh. I have 12 rows of mesh. So after my 12th row, I'm going to chain 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20. I'm going to chain 20 and cut my yarn. Now you're going to do the same thing onto the other side. You're going to do this mesh here. Okay, so do that. I'll meet you after you're done. As you can see, I'm done with my mesh sides. This is how they came out. I guess it's okay. So now we're going to start on the back side. You want to start on the back side, and for the back side, just get your yarn. I'm using yellow for the back. Then the upper side I'll be using black. Attach your yarn. Let me go with this side here. First make a slip knot, then chain 1, then attach, then chain 1. That counts as a stitch. Go to the next stitch and be chaining single crocheting. Then go on placing single crochets until you reach the other end for this row. You have to make sure they are 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and one more. For chain 3, turn your work, it's going to be increase. The same way we increase is the same way we're going to increase. So add another, you're going to add another double crochet in that very same space to make it 2. So continue placing 1 double crochet into each stitch until you have 1 stitch remaining. And on the very last stitch, you know the procedure, we put 2 double crochets. It's very similar to what we've been doing on the parts of increasing. Now that I'm in the last stitch, I'll place a single crochet and add another one, and that's what we call an increase. So you're going to go on doing that. Chain 3, turn your work. You're going to go on increasing, and you're going to continue with the double crochets. So far we have 2 rows. The very last stitch, don't forget to, the very last stitch and the very first stitch must have 2 double crochets. Okay, I mean the very last one, 1 double crochet, and I add another one to make it to 2. So you're going to continue until you have, from here, from the double crochets, until you have 24 double crochet rows. Okay, continue with that and come back when you have your 24 double crochets. And I'm done with my 24 rows. Now I didn't have enough yellow, that's why I did a black one. So your work should be looking like this, straight edges. So we're going to be doing mesh rows, 7 rows of mesh upwards. So chain 4, turn your work, yarn over, skip the next stitch, and in the next stitch place a double crochet. What we did for the side mesh, it's the same thing we're doing for this mesh. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed, do me a favor please and do subscribe. So you're going to continue like that. I already showed you how to work out the mesh, so continue until you have 7 rows of mesh. I already showed you how to do this on the sides, and I'll meet you back. Well, I went ahead and did my mesh, my 7 rows of mesh, and it came out pretty well. After doing my chain, my last row, I went ahead and chained 30 chains. Okay, hope you didn't cut. Well, if you did, you can as well attach. Now, next row almost done, but not yet. We're going to make a beautiful edging around our bikini bottom. For my color, I think I'll use black because that's what I have left. I have no more yellow. Any color you have left, no, you can use it. So I have my black here. I'm going to first start with the chain. I did 30 chains. So I'm going to first start with the chain, then I attach and I go around making single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Make 30. If you want it longer, well, go ahead and add. Now after chaining the 30, we're going to attach it here on this upper side. You can just attach in this space. I'm attaching with a single crochet. Okay, just another one just to be secure. Okay, now turn your work. We're going to start placing 2 single crochets in each mesh space. So 1 and 2. Go on the side, working on the side. 1, 2 in each mesh space. There we are. Oh, and mind you, this is our, I don't know, it can be any side. Wrong, right, wrong, right. Yes, I'm working on my right side. I'm working on my right side. This is the right side. Now after working in the last mesh, you're going to go ahead and also work in this last row, the last row, which is not a mesh. Just put 2 double crochets. After you do the chain, the same chain as this, then you cut. That's 30 for me. After you cut, okay, that simply means you're done for this side up. Now I would have continued with this, but it wouldn't have come out well, and you should know this is our right side, whatever. Now turn our work like this. This side, we're going to come from this side. This is our right side. I chose this as my right side. We're going to start doing we want to start single crocheting around. We want to crochet around each and every stitch. Now to begin with, let's begin from here. Since I already have my chain in place, let me just attach my yarn and start single crocheting around. Chain 1, then attach. Place 2 single crochets in each and every stitch, in each and every space, mesh space. So go around doing that. It's pretty easy. I'm working on my right side. Please, if you haven't yet subscribed, please do so. I'm trying as much as possible to provide a tutorial at least once a week. That's the most I can do for now. Now we are done with the mesh spaces. Go to this here with a single crochet. After that, we're going to go now down like this, placing a single crochet in each and every row. We're going to be, since we worked half double crochets, we're going to be placing 2 single crochets in each and every row. 1, 2. The next row, 1, 2. Try as much as possible to work the 2 single crochets close to each other. Okay, so that they don't create some funny spaces. 1 and 2. So do that until we reach the single crochet rows. I've reached the single crochet rows, and I'll be placing 1 in each and every row of the single crochet. 1 is enough. 1 single crochet is enough. There we are. Now when we get back to the double crochet rows, we're going to do the same we've done. We're going to be putting 2 single crochets in the double crochet rows, in each double crochet row. So do that until you are at the end of this here. You chain 1 and cut. You're going to be placing 2 single crochets in each and every row. Do that, chain 1 and cut. After doing that, now that we are done with this side, we're going to be doing the same thing we've done this side to this side. So start by chaining your 30, then start single crocheting here in the mesh 2 per mesh box. Then here in the double crochets 2 per row. Here 1 per row. Then here 2 per row. After that, also chain the 30 and cut. That will be all for this. So let me come back with mine finished. This here is my bikini. This is the wrong side, and you can see it's very different from the right side. Like this mostly tells us these best single crochets. It's the wrong side. So this is it, and there is still one more step for those who want to continue further. Now, as we were still adding the string, the high string or the high waist string, how that is going to be, we're going to attach, you know, the center of this string is going to be here in the middle. So we're going to first begin by chaining 150 chains. So go ahead and finish off 150 chains. Back, I had said 150, but I went ahead and did 170 because it wouldn't be enough for. Now note that this is just half of the string we want. Okay, so you're going to go ahead after the single crochet, the chains, you're going to go ahead and single crochet in the middle. Locate your middle. I'll take this as my middle, then I'll single crochet. Okay, after single crochet, you're going to do the same thing you've done this side. So chain 170 on this other side as well. I'll meet you when you're done with it. Now that I'm done with my 170 chain on this other side, I'm going to single crochet, slip stitch in the next let's say 15 stitches. Then after the slip stitches, I'm going to go ahead and double crochet until I reach the middle. Then I slip stitch in the middle, here in the middle, then double crochet until I have 15 stitches, which I'm going to slip stitch. Now these 15 stitches are the ones which you will tie on this side, the ones you are slip stitching. They're the ones which will tie at the side. Okay, so go ahead and do that. If you've understood what you're going to start double crocheting, you just go ahead in the next stitch and place a double crochet. Go on like that until you reach in the middle. When you reach here in the middle, you just slip stitch or single crochet, then you continue on the double crochets on the other side. So I have to meet you when you're done with this. Now that's how our bikini looks like. Now on a dummy, let me show you how it looks on a dummy. That's how it looks on a dummy, though the strings were kind of short because this is a bigger dummy compared to the own of the bikini, but it should be looking like that. You should tie the strings like that. Hope it's not so complicated. Let me know if you need any extra help. Bye.